Blake Lively's lawyer's statement that was just posted in her story on Instagram. Let's go over it together. Really need my glasses for this. I need an eye exam. I need a new one. Anyway, here we go, because it's interesting. It is completely unsurprising that Brian Friedman does not understand the court's actual ruling. This whole thing feels like it's about Brian Friedman, which goes back to the story that I posted today about how, like, her whole thing is going to be really against the tag team, the Amanda Ghost stuff, the Rebel Wilson stuff, and like that pattern of behavior I feel like is her new, like, I'm the victim of cyberbullying, which I kind of get, because the Amanda Ghost stuff from the latest filing did not look too great. But that also does not mean that it happened here. He didn't even argue the summary judgment motion. He's now spinning, had to bring in another law firm for the trial. Wow, this just feels... And just last week was reprimanded by the court for having filed legally frivolous claims. It was mostly that he added in too many people. What the court actually decided yesterday, also one more point. Yesterday, Sigrid McCauley, or whatever her name is, who's Blake's attorney, that is the PR attorney, who also represented Leslie Sloan earlier from Boys, she's the PR lady that was giving statements, and she already gave a statement. So why are we getting another one from Michael Gottlieb? Like, are you all supposed to be doing, like, is there a big push behind the scenes? Like, no, you all have to do this, I guess, because Mike's he's kind of looked at as the lead attorney on this, I think. Ezra, maybe secondary, I don't know. But yeah, what the court actually decided yesterday is that Blake Lively provided evidence to go to trial on her core claims. Okay, because reshaping this, her core claims are retaliation. I mean, they always kind of were to a degree. I guess I partially agree with that, but like, I'm gonna have to go back and read that New York Times article, because it felt like this sexual harassment. Anyway, I'm in a mood. It's Friday afternoon. That she spoke out against what she believed was sexual harassment on the set and suffered retaliation that harmed her reputation as a result. The court held in painstaking detail that Lively provided sufficient evidence of all the following. Now, I want you to be really careful here. The court held sounds like this is a holding. And to a degree, I see what they're saying. But then, after it says, provided sufficient evidence of the following. The court is just saying that there was some evidence there. He was not actually making a determination on all of these things, because they are still going to trial and going to be seen in front of the jury. And then that trial will have the final holding. So, the reason I bring that up is because of the last one here. We'll go back to it. She privately spoke up about and negotiated changes to onset behavior by Baldoni Heath that she and others found disturbing. Second, she reasonably believed in good faith that the behavior she privately raised concerns about was unlawful sexual harassment. Okay, yeah, she did believe it. Baldoni Heath and Wayfair Studios understood that the claims amounted to sexual harassment allegations. And in response, they crossed the line and took steps that harmed her reputation and career. Now, remember, he just held that she provided evidence that could go to trial and be heard in front of a trial. He did not hold that, like, they 100% did this and there's just an issue of fact that needs to go in front of a jury, and she's provided stuff that says that there's an issue of fact, okay? Now we're going to keep reading. And because of yesterday's decision, all of these claims will be heard by the jury. Yes, exactly. So it's not like, stop acting like this is a final holding on these. Yeah, okay. And here is what the court actually said about Miss Lively's sexual harassment claims. Now, I want you to know that, yes, some of them, Judge Lyman was like, okay, I can see a reasonable belief. But others, he was like, no. Okay, so they definitely cherry-picked here. A person in her position could have understood the workplace to at times reflect a gendered and sexualized view of women and a disregard for their privacy sufficient to make it reasonable to complain about a hostile work environment based on sex or gender. I'll have to go back to that. Also, my laptop is not charging anymore, so I think I need to order a new one. Looking at the MacBook Neo, because it is cheaper, I was just going to get the larger one. It's like $700. Or should I just do the Air? I'm on the fence. If you know, leave in the comments. The court's ruling that Miss Lively's state and federal harassment claims could not go to trial was about legal issues rather than an endorsement to the defendant's conduct. The court held that Miss Lively's sexual harassment claims could not go to a jury because Miss Lively did not sign her contract. that she is an independent contractor instead of an employee, and that the offensive conduct occurred in New Jersey instead of California. Okay, you guys are her lawyers, so why did she sign the contract? And why didn't we file this under New Jersey law? You can go back to my earlier video on that. You got a deep bench of very expensive lawyers. I'm sure there was a reason, or maybe I'm actually not trying to. I'm sure they're pretty smart people, but yeah. Anyway, the fact that Brian Friedman, how many times is Brian Friedman mentioned in this, is claiming exoneration based on legal technicalities. Technicalities like, hey, you filed this after the statute of limitations. While facing trial next month tells you everything you need to know. I mean, to me, the IC versus employee argument was super substantive. The retaliation Miss Lively faced for privately speaking up for a safe working environment has always been the beating heart of her case. It is why she filed her lawsuit. The court found ample evidence to move her case forward. We look forward to trial. What do you guys think?